How are you doing?
Good. I'm so excited to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. It's been almost 2 weeks. I don't know what day it is anymore because I didn't see you on Monday, so I wasn't really sure today. It is Friday, right? I
It
didn't see you
is. You
last
look very
Friday
refreshed.
either.
I know. Did you and everybody, thank you for joining in, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are coming in live. We are so glad to see you. Tell us how you've been doing. It's been over a week since we've last seen everybody. And so let us know how you're doing. Drop a comment. Rachelle, how was your Easter?
It was good. It was very relaxing, although I was still doing some work and so forth, but it was good. I saw my parents, and so that was very nice to be with them. I haven't seen them for Easter in like 10 years, I think. So yeah, so it was good. How about you?
Wow, I had a great we went and had dinner with some close friends and had a little bit. Do you hear that feedback? I'm sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. But we had an egg hunt inside because it's snow. It's still snowing. Yesterday, I woke up and it was just snow, and like everything is covered in feet of snow, not like a couple of inches. Like we have walls of snow, and it's driving me out of my mind. And but that's how we celebrated Easter. Sure, it's spring, but it's 9 degrees and it's snowing.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Yes. Do you hear that feedback, or is it just me?
I don't hear it. I know there's a delay in me talking and then you hearing. So I think I'm gonna like when I stop talking or when you stop talking, I'm gonna count to three or something. I don't know what to do.
I am sorry. I'm working on getting an office upstairs where it's better, where I get better broadband. Okay, now it's gone. Like it's great. Okay, so anyway, today we have a guest. We were going to have our friend Dan on, but through unforeseen circumstances, we will save him. We will table him for another day. We have one of my new friends, and you just got to meet him. His name is
Aw.
Michael Garcia. He is a husband, a father, an educator, podcaster, referee. He's just like all the educators we know, doing a ton of things. Just like Rachelle, he loves being busy. So you guys have a lot in common. Michael, how are you doing? Tell us all about you.
Yay.
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm actually on spring break, so I'm enjoying my last few days. And when I say enjoying, I mean cleaning the house and getting everything ready for the next week. But we had a really relaxing vacation. My two children, my wife, we got to spend a few days in San Diego. I'm in Southern California, so
Nice.
just gearing up for the week ahead of us.
Wow. Mel is not jealous of where you're located at all. I could just tell on her face.
Yeah, I've been following up with Mel
You
and her Alaskan
like
degrees, and it's not something I'm jealous of.
No.
I am so jealous. It's funny that you said that because in my mind I'm thinking of all the where's my sign? Where's my green sign? Because I'm full of green jealousy or whatever. But yeah, no, I love that you were able to spend the weekend or the week in the sun. That is so cool. And so, what is the area that you teach in, Michael?
I teach seventh grade, and currently I was just credentialed in CTE finance and business. So I'm teaching my first year of that class. I have 3 years of STEM experience and self-contained fourth grade. And I did my student teaching in second grade, which I like to add in there because it was such a fun grade level.
Wow. I couldn't do it.
Heck yeah, yeah. Mhm.
That's everybody says
One
like
thing
because
I
I
got to
teach high
meet Mike.
school. Oh, sorry, Mel.
Mhm. No, it's okay. You talk because I have a delay over here. So go ahead.
I was just gonna say that we say about each other, right? Because I teach primarily high school, 8th through 12th, and people say, I don't know how you can do that. When people teach elementary, I'm like, I don't know how I could. I don't know, but
With coming from the fourth grade, going into a single subject, and now looking back, I've had some anxiety about whether I could go back into a self-contained class, most definitely.
oh my.
I have a problem. I'm like, can I even go back to anything? I'm just struggling. It's crazy. I applaud both of you. And I just dropped Michael's podcast into the comments. Follow
Thank
it.
you.
I actually got to be a guest last month, but don't just follow it because I'm a guest. I think it was probably the most fun podcast I've ever been on, though. I will say that. But check it out. It is so cool. And you and Rachelle have a lot in common. We all three kind of, and a lot of people that are watching, we have a lot in common. We create. And so I wanted to ask both of you and have a little conversation. And anybody, please, if you're watching, join in. We love it when you share comments. But what are your favorite creation tools that you're using?
I was doing the pause. I was waiting.
Me too.
You know me. I always say Bunsey, like just hands down, always Bunsey. Mel is having it's on your end. It's in Alaska. You got the cold, you got the snow, you got the delay right now. But no, I love using Bunsey just for pretty much everything. So I will stop with that one.
What is Bunsey?
I'm so glad you asked. So it is it's Buncee, and it's a multimedia creation tool, which you create kind of like a presentation, like slides, like you would, but it has around 35,000 different like GIFs and emojis and stickers and animations and all these different things that you can add into it, and audio, video you can record, links. We don't have enough time for me to tell you all that it is. But I would recommend either A, sending me a message and I can send you some examples, or there's a community on Facebook, or also just even on Twitter to see what people are creating with it. It's like my students love it, all grade levels. I mean, I make cards for my parents with it. And so it is awesome. So I'll leave it at that.
I'm gonna pull up one of your articles.
Okay. What about you, Michael? Which one? What do you like?
I use quite a few platforms and resources and tools to create depending on what I'm doing, and I've kind of moved around a bit. So I use Canva for my graphic design, and I have multimedia design in my undergrad, so I know how to do it from scratch. But one of the best things about where we are now is that these tools do so much of the work for you, and not obviously that wouldn't be appropriate for like a graphic designer who's taking on work, but for the I think for the average person who's doing their side work, I think something like Canva is a great tool. So I use Canva for graphic design. I use iMovie for plenty of things. I used to use GarageBand to edit all of my podcasts. Now I use a paid program called Hindenburg, and that's a podcast specific audio file editor. I use, like I said, quite a few other tools. Adobe, I use stock images from Adobe. I use, all my audio comes from Adobe, all my stock files. So creating is kind of just whatever tool is out there. I try to see if I could use it, and then being able to incorporate having tools be specific for different reasons. So like, for example, when I post on my social media, I usually use 2 to 3 apps where I will edit in one, bring it to the other, do another editing phase, do another in another app. And for example, Photoshop has an app, Canva has an app. So if I need some typography or something like that on my image, I can go there. But yeah, creating tools I'm kind of always looking for new tools or what. And so I'm really happy to have this one, Bunsey, available now.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I just dropped one of your articles, and I love that you use so many different tools. But so is Canva your favorite tool, Michael?
Canva is one of my favorite. Yes, Canva is one of the first tools, and I'm kind of beginning a lot with my content creation, but with Canva, it was one of my first paid where I paid for the full premium because I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I like it too, and I'm going to tell you, I've never felt like I was an art person, or I could draw, or I had like an eye for design. So that's why I like Canva, because it just, once I was introduced to it when I started having to make the graphics for my book, my I'm Sorry story, and so a lot of the authors and EduMatch use it, and it's so easy. And every time I get into it, I feel like I can just do a little bit more. It's just there's just so much to explore in it. So that is definitely I do like Bunsey also. I like Bunsey, and I love how they both support educators. And then I know I have friends that love Adobe, so Adobe Spark. And I like all features. I feel like if you can't lose with any of them. You just get better if you just keep growing in it. But yeah, so that's so cool.
Yeah.
And Michael, your graphics are pretty legit. Those are pretty awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's kind of been weird. Really trying to balance my personal likeness to certain graphics, and then kind of matching that with the personality of the product, the show. So kind of balancing that. I've kind of gone through waves of different trends, but it's been fun. It's been a fun process.
Yeah, and you and Rachelle have that in common a lot.
Do you like to experiment, Rachelle?
Yeah. There's like, I have lists everywhere of different tools for different, I mean, not just for like creating presentations or things, but like augmented virtual reality, artificial intelligence, you name it, and game-based learning tools, all of those. There are literally like Post-it notes with things that I need to try and want to get back to and explore. And I'm like, which of my classes can do this? Like even this week, they're trying, it's called EdLight. EdLight, and it integrates with Clever and Google Classroom. You can post like tasks and questions, and then students can kind of write a response, take a picture of it, and post it back to you. You can do audio feedback and so forth. So we're just kind of testing that out with my Spanish 3 classes. And they're like, you and these tech tools. I go, I know, but I want to see what they do. And it might be something you use later on too. But it's good for you to be able to, experience what they are. And then also, if I get the chance to have a conversation with people behind the product too, to say, hey, this is what my students thought, because they need to understand that as well. Like, what's the user experience like? And so when students say, oh, we hate it because, well, okay, why do you hate it? Or we love it because it's the best thing. Well, why? And they need that feedback too. So it's fun.
Yeah, and I love how you get your students involved, Rachelle. Michael, do you get your students involved in that creation process as well?
Oh, most definitely. So Canva, we've brought that to the classroom. My 7th graders use Canva for design. So in my business and finance class, we start off with a business plan initial lesson at the beginning of the school year, and then we take that unit and then we apply it throughout the rest of the school year in some of our projects. So we're a project-based class. So for example, we just finished up a unit where we built roller coasters. And then we had to design a simple business plan around it. We're still in distance learning here in Southern California, so it's been challenging bringing some of those tools and instructing and helping students use them, but they've done a great job. But Canva is one of the biggest tools that we brought to the table, where they got to design their posters, their marketing materials for the roller coaster. We brought in tools such as Flipgrid, Padlet. Flipgrid is a fun creation tool, but one thing that I did learn is that 7th graders don't like to have their faces on camera as much as I would have assumed. So with some of the new features that Flipgrid released, the audio part, which can be used for podcasting in the classroom, they've really kind of addressed some of those issues. And that was one of the first things that was surprising to me, was finding out that students don't like certain tools, which is what Rachelle just mentioned. And that was pretty eye-opening to have a problem put in front of me that was the opinions of the students, and then how to counteract that. So I had to leave Flipgrid alone for a little bit, but now with the new features, they love it. So they've used other tools such as Flipgrid, Padlet. We do plenty of Google Suite tools. Jamboard is one that I've loved using this year. So the students, I definitely look to them for feedback. I definitely look to them for their interest. And then I definitely look at the assessment of their work through using the technology. And then I kind of address it from that point on. So so far they've done a great job, especially this year in distance learning.
Yeah. It sounds like it. You remind me of, I just read a book, Evolving Learners by Lainey Rowell and Dr. Christy Andrews and Lauren Steinman. And it talks about how we can use our students as like the best resource of like professional development, what they like. And both of you are talking about that. I think it's great that you're doing that. So kudos to both of you. Okay, we've had some serious talk. Let's get into some, is it okay if I move into some more fun talk? What is my next thing? Okay, now, Michael, I know you were on spring break, and Rachelle, I know that you got to see your parents. So I know there's a lot of sweet stuff, but every Friday at Thrive O'Clock, we try to talk about, the good and the bad, because everybody is not on the same page all the time. A lot of people are working. Maybe they haven't even gone on their spring break yet. So just curious about the good and the bad. We'll start with the sweet, and whoever wants to go first, don't fight me for it. But what was the sweet of this week?
The sweet of this week?
And if you're, yes, the sweet of this week.
So this, for me specifically, spring break couldn't have come at a better time. I was ready for it. I love my students to death, but we were all ready for it. One of the sweets that I got to spend some quality time with my family. My wife works. My kids are here with me in distance learning at the house, but it's crazy to say it, but we don't really see each other all that much throughout the week. My son's here, my daughter's there, I'm here. So spending time with them was really sweet this week. And as much as I don't want to admit it, getting my house in order and cleaning and getting some, quality time with my home to get some projects done was very sweet and very relaxing. So that was probably the sweet of my week. And then being here with you two.
That's
There
good.
you go.
Heck yeah. What a way to finish. That's great.
That's right.
I love it. What about you, Rachelle?
Got to spend time with my parents, so that was a plus, and have some fun. So definitely a high point of the week. Yeah, that's all this week. And I had a good nap yesterday too. If I'm going like from the beginning of the week, like through, and I talked to you, Mel, yesterday for about 25 minutes, and I remember you're like, you sound so tired.
Rachelle, out of curiosity, how long had it been since you've seen your parents?
It was just a couple months. Yeah.
I've heard from some people with COVID specifically that they haven't seen their parents in over a year.
I know. Yeah. I have some friends at the same thing. So I'm fortunate that I have been able to see them for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know. Are Marianne and Jim even watching? Like they're usually our biggest fans. Where are they today?
I know. I don't know, but better be a message from Marianne.
Would you rather? Yes, Marianne, get ready for Would You Rather. Yeah, you got to get Would You Rather going. I think my sweet of this week is definitely, I had a great book chat with Hedrick Nichols a couple of days ago. I was really, really looking forward to that. She wrote, What is the Black Lives Matter movement? I want to give her a shout out. That was probably one of the best things. And then it's really hard. I have to really think about it because I feel like what you were saying, Michael, like I'm with my family every day of the week. My husband is working here. I'm doing homeschool, but I always feel like I don't really feel like we're always bonding. Like it's not always great. But so I know this sounds terrible, but sometimes just getting to talk to people outside of my home is probably the sweetest thing. I know it's terrible. Oh, Marianne, she's here. She's here. Thanks, Marianne. Woohoo! All right.
Oh, I missed it. What did she say?
She said she is here.
Oh, I was getting the questions ready for the Would You Rather. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, there she is. Marianne, feel free to drop something embarrassing so we can all laugh. Just kidding, Rachelle. What about the sour? What is the sour of the week? Does anybody want to share?
I'm thinking the sour.
Yeah.
And anybody who's watching, you can share too.
Yeah, there was some sour this week, but I don't need to talk about any of the sour.
You can talk about it. That's the whole point of it, is that we don't have to talk about it.
I'll say that with spring break, relaxing and it's kind of like the double-edged sword, and I got to go back on Monday, so the sour is that the Sunday feeling is setting in right now.
Yeah, that's tough. That Sunday feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, like after one on Sundays, I'm like, I don't want to have to go anywhere. I don't want to have to do anything. I just, even though I'm always happy to go to school on Monday, it's just for like on Sunday, you just know, you're like, oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. That would have been my sour too if I were on spring break. My sour is just that it's still snowing. This morning it was -0 again, and I'm over it. So I'm totally freaking over the snow and the cold. That is my sour. You don't have any, Rachelle? You don't have any sours? Come on.
Nothing I can think of right now.
No, the snow would definitely be a sour. I've never lived in any place, at least in my memory. I used to live in Frankfurt, Germany. My father was in the military.
Oh, wow.
So we did live somewhere where it snowed. But in terms of my adolescence and teenage and adult years, I've never lived anywhere where it snowed. So that would be absolute sour all the time.
Yeah. Okay, we got to move on. Like, I can't even think about it anymore. Okay, so we like to, we don't want to end on a sour note, so we're going to definitely play Would You Rather. Even though I really feel like we should change this to Truth or Dare. Hey, Kitty, what's up? But But I almost want to play truth or dare. So if y'all don't want to play Would You Rather, I feel like I've got some good truth questions or dares. I'm just saying.
I'm just waiting to see what my cat does. If he like just goes and looks. Oh my gosh, there it is. There it is.
I love Marianne. That is awesome, Marianne. That's
Oh,
a great
man.
sweet.
I love that it was
seriously
a
thought he
sweet.
was drunk, Marianne.
Oh,
Yes, Marianne, he was not drunk. You're
it
just
was
that
it
awesome.
was an interesting experience, let me tell you.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was fun though.
But yes. I honestly, I love it, Marianne. Thanks for sharing. And anybody else who wants to share. All right, are we ready for the Would You Rather?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Affirmative. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Question 1. Give up social media or eat the same dinner for the rest of your life.
That's easy. Eat the same dinner.
Yeah.
I'm ready to give up social media. Definitely.
Depends on what the dinner is. I mean, if it's, like.
Or who's cooking it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. I mean, if I don't have to cook it.
For real.
All right. Okay. Oh, this one's interesting.
I can't give up social media. It's my job.
I know.
If I give up social media, I can't eat.
I need I need social media to just, I don't want this to actually happen though, but like for me to take a break from it, I need for it to take a break from itself. Like everything just like is shut down temporarily, which means I can't access anything because otherwise there's the notifications just constantly going off, but that's okay. Because otherwise we wouldn't be able to connect with each other. So
it's true. There's so much FOMO there, but you have to like find that sweet spot of social media where it's not affecting you in a negative way, but there's just that fine line. I struggle with it. And then I like to take breaks from social media, but I used to be able to be off of it for years. Like I would go off Facebook for 2 or 3 years and not think anything of it. I was happy to do that. So I can't do that now. And I hate that about myself, but again,
I wouldn't
have to have dinner.
do that.
I've gone through waves of social media where I kind of go in and I will manage what's popping up on my feed. So who I'm following, I'll manage that and I will kind of adjust that. Not so much on a good, bad, but just kind of what I'm feeling. What, every few months I'll go in and curate what is popping up on my feed. And that's worked. But I deleted my social media for about a week, a few weeks ago. And it was pretty liberating, but it was difficult, especially with what we create is going on social media.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wouldn't be here with you two if I had, but anyway, that was a really good question. I feel like a blog post might be coming on. Just saying.
All right. Just on the first question too. Okay. This one, here we go. Would you rather, I just lost it. Oh, would you rather have the lights on or off if you knew that the room you were standing in was full of snakes?
I'm so glad that
you can't get out of the room. But so you're in the room with snakes. Do you want the lights on or do you want the lights off?
That's tough.
Yeah, because I really don't like snakes. So it honestly doesn't matter because if there's snakes in the room.
Your lights are going off fast. I'm a lights on person. I like the lights on, so I'll say that.
I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna eliminate sight and concentrate on my other instincts.
All right.
Good answer.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Would you rather flip a coin and have the chance to win $30 or immediately be given $10? It's not a great question, but I didn't make it up. I just scrolled on the page.
I say give me the 10. Instant gratification for sure.
Okay.
My response would definitely differ by the day, but I'm going to say today I'm going to take the risk.
Yeah.
$30. Definitely.
I'm flipping that coin too.
Yeah.
Right there with you. Okay, here's a good one. Would you rather Give up cursing forever or give up ice cream for 10 years? And now I only asked this question because of allergy.
That is the freaking easiest. I could give up ice cream. I don't hardly eat ice cream, but giving up my curse words?
10 years.
No, I almost said the full
Hey,
word.
woo.
I ditto
There's
everything
no way I could live.
Mel said.
Yeah, I couldn't
Everything.
give up my cuss words.
I can't give
That'd
up
be
the
like
ice
giving
cream.
away. That'd be like,
I wish I could curse in more
that's
places.
why I struggle with my weight. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
could
wish
do
I
that
could
ice
cuss
cream.
right now, but I respect you too much. I
No.
could give away ice cream. I could give.
I can do without the ice cream.
I
Okay.
want to
Here's
know what Marianne thinks. Like, what do you think she'll say, Rachelle? Marianne, please tell us.
She don't
Would
care
you rather
about
give
that.
up
She
ice
doesn't-
cream or cussing?
She doesn't care about the ice cream.
I feel like
Telling you
she's
right
on
now.
my-
No, she doesn't care about the ice
and
cream.
that's why we like Marianne.
Okay, next question. Would you rather be able to run 200 miles per hour or be able to fly 20 miles an hour, 20 miles per hour?
Ooh,
I'm gonna fly. I want to fly.
Yeah, I'd fly.
I want to fly. Definitely want to fly.
All right, well, that was an easy one. Okay, oh, I know what the answer is going to be this one. Would you rather be stranded on Antarctica or in the desert?
Ooh.
What is she saying? Ice cream? Okay, what was the question? Would I rather live in Antarctica or the desert? That's freaking
Would you rather
easy.
be stranded on Antarctica or the desert?
Freaking desert.
I knew it.
I can survive in the desert. I could not survive. I however long it takes for you to die from frostbite, that's how long I would last in Alaska. I would not be able to do it.
Well, Antarctica is a little bit different. It's going to be, colder, but I would rather, I have thought about this, to be honest with you. I have thought about this in my life because I absolutely hate the cold. That's why I left Missouri, because it was too cold in Missouri. It's hysterical that I'm here in Alaska, but whatever. Life is life. There's sometimes you don't have a lot of choices. But I hate the cold. Like but the last 2 years here haven't been so cold. It's this year. This winter has really hung on. So I would rather die in a desert. So if anybody's listening and they want to kill me, leave me in the desert, please.
Oh my gosh. All right, one more question. I have to end it on a high note after that one.
Well, does it rain in Alaska, Mel?
Yeah, it rains. It rains.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
last
that
question.
was close.
Would you rather go back and spend 2 weeks in the 1800s or go ahead into the future and spend 2 weeks in the year 2500?
There's a Netflix series on this. The Highlander. Is it the Highlander?
Yeah.
Really?
So.
Or the Outlander? The Outlander.
One of them. A lander.
I'm going to the I'm going to the future.
Me too.
Like they're barbaric in the 1800s.
I wouldn't mind going back in the 1800s, but with a choice, I'm definitely going to the future. My curiosity would be too crazy. I know what happened I could pick up a book or Google.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yep.
And if I could have an invisibility cloak, then I would go into the past. Like if nobody could see me, and I was invisible to everybody, then I would be okay with going into the past.
Yeah, but that wasn't part of the question. So there will be no cloak. It's you and just you, as you are right now, with back in time or
yes,
into the future.
Yes. So, was that our last question?
That's our last question.
That was fun. Thank you.
I feel like
Thank you.
Yeah,
But
I just want to say that I feel really out of practice. Like our time away from being live, I feel rusty. So I'm so sorry today that I was so rusty. But on a high note, Michael, it was so good to see your face. I'm so glad you joined us today. Rachelle, it's always good to see you. And
you too.
Before we leave, I want to ask both of you, do you have any last words that you'd like to share with everybody?
I just want to say thank you, both for having me. I was getting some of my suite done, getting some of my cleaning done, so it was a nice little break. I actually officiate a game tonight. One of the our high school football seasons got started late due to COVID. I officiate high school sports. I've done that for a handful of years, so I got a game tonight, and I just want to say thank you. It was a fun conversation and a lot of laughs and smiles, and I really appreciate it. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you joined. It was good to meet you, and definitely good to be back live. I missed being here on last Friday and Monday, but don't worry, anybody. We've got people lined up almost straight through June. So
wow, so cool. So cool.
yeah.
And thank you, Michael, for coming. And you know what? I hope that everybody will check out your socials. eduwithyou.net is where they can go to find all your podcasts. And at Twitter, at eduwithyou. It's right there on the ticker. I really hope people will check all your work out. I am always, I just love what you do. So I'm so glad you were able to be with us today. And for everybody who's watching, whether it was Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, we love you. We are so glad you're part of our community. And we will definitely see you on Monday. Bye, everybody.